Everybody, this is Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and today I'm going to share with you some ideas using the two stamp sets from the Take Flight collection, which is our April collection. And these two stamp sets are from the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit and the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. Or if you subscribe to the stamp subscription, you get both of these. So those are the ways that you can get our stamp sets. And we now, for the last couple months, we've been doing this, and it's really, really nice. They all come in their own little storage sleeve as well. Little side note on our stamps, if you're new to Cocoa Daisy, our stamps are made in the USA, and they're made with a wonderful photopolymer plastic or acrylic, I guess. Anyway, that formula that's used to make them creates a wonderful stamp that will stick well to your acrylic block, is durable, and is very, very crisp, has a great, gives you a great image. So that is the difference in our stamps, is that they are the photopolymer and they are made in the USA. So the theme this month is spring. It's these cute little hot air balloons, the umbrellas, the kites. There's a cute little rain boot, galosh, welly, whatever you want to call it, and a few little flowers, and then a couple little birds and a few fun sayings. And one of the things when I was stamping this that I wanted to do, I just really felt the urge to color these in. Now, if you're familiar with the artwork at all, you'll notice, in fact, I can grab some of the stickers and just kind of show you an idea what I mean. So the artwork, if you look, the outline is usually done not necessarily in a black or a charcoal, but it's done in a color with a lighter version of that color inside. So a lot of the artwork is done that way. And I kind of wanted to mimic that with the stamping, which made me really want to color them in. And so I thought it would give me a good opportunity to talk about some of the ways that you can color in your stamps. Watercolor is always an option, but if you're kind of worried about your paper getting crinkly, then these are some other ideas that you can use. But let's go through the ink colors that I chose first of all. Of course, any black, I always use the VersaFine Onyx Black. And these are all Stamp Market this month. There's the Pacific, the Dijon, the Lipstick Red, and the Salmon. Sunshine is that lighter yellow, and then I did the Sea Glass, the Minty, and the Fresh Mint. So there's a little bit of all of that on there. So this stamp set is from the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. And one of the things that I also did a lot of is masking. And you've seen me talk about that before. You just take a piece of scrap paper. I think this was actually around the cards from the pocket cards that come in the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. And what I did is I just cut a shape, for instance here, so that when I stamped the hot air balloon, I could then stamp the cloud over top of it, and it would look like the cloud is behind it. So I did that in a couple of spots. You can see where I did that. I did that here as well. And then I did the same thing with the raindrops. So the raindrops, I wanted those to look like they were coming right from the clouds. So I just cut the little scrap paper, lay that on the cloud, and then stamp the raindrops over top. So it's the same idea. And then, so I stamped these, like I mentioned, I did coordinating colors. So I did like the Dijon and the Sunshine when I did the balloons here. I did the Pacific and the Sea Glass for the cloud, or like this hot air balloon. And then this one, I did the lipstick with the salmon. Now to color these in, you can always use colored pencils always a good option, simple option. It's not going to do really anything to your paper. You don't have to worry about bleed through, anything like that with colored pencils. If you want to have it, if you don't want to see the strokes from the pencil, one of the things that you can do is get a blending pencil and blend that, and it will look even smoother. I don't mind them. But what I did on these is I actually just took, and I'll do it, let me do it in one of the clouds here. So I just took a package of almost like little makeup applicators, little eyeshadow applicators. You can get these just about anywhere. And you can take a little bit of, now you can do this with chalk as well. You've seen me do that before, but you can just put a little bit on there. And then I love kind of that look. It almost looks like a cloud. And you can fill that in as much or as little as you want. It's that simple. And it's just ink. So it's not, you know, there's nothing to set. There's nothing that's going to wrinkle your paper. It's just plain old ink. I would recommend that you, these are dye inks. They dry really, really fast. But I would wait just a moment after you stamp the cloud before you do this, just so that you don't have any sort of smearing or anything like that. But it's that simple. You can just use a bunch of these, and that's how I did all of these. Now, if you're doing a larger stamp or a larger space, or you're using stencils that have shapes, there's some other options that you can use with your inks as well. This one is from Hero Arts, and you would just rub that again on the ink pad and rub it down. It's a larger surface. It's basically a brush, but it's very, very fine. There's that option. And from the Stamp Market, they have these little guys. It's the same kind of brush. It's just a little bit of a different application. And these are nice because you can, you don't have to worry about it getting anywhere else. It has the cute little storage thing with it. So those are a couple options on how to do this. You could try to use a Q-tip. I'm not sure. I haven't played with that. I know the Q-tips work all right with the chalk. I'm not sure about the ink. But these little applicators work fantastic for that, and they're relatively inexpensive. So let's talk a little bit about what I did as far as grouping. So you have the two hot air balloons. I loved grouping those with the birds and the clouds and a saying, and you could just kind of do as many together as you wanted or as few. You know, like here I have just the hot air balloon, a couple of the birds, and a saying. Same thing here. But if you wanted to create almost an entire background, you certainly could. Just color them all in differently, and it would be really, really pretty to do. For whatever reason, I love the way this balloon looks kind of leaning, almost like the wind is pushing it. I loved that. And I loved that with that simple little saying there. You can group just the birds with one of the sayings, or just the clouds with a saying and a bird as well. So you can mix all of that together with just about all of it, or just a little bit. Even if you just had maybe just the clouds, and the birds would be cute too, and no raindrops. That would be fun as well. So that is the stamp set from the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. And then we will go to the stamp set from the Traveler's Notebook Kit. And this one has the kite, the other little smaller kite. There's a couple of flowers in here and a couple of umbrellas as well. And these two cute little birds. This particular flower right here, so you have these kind of look like tulips to me. So you have a smaller and a larger tulip. Then these two, you have just a stem. And the reason we did that is so that you could stamp a multitude of the flowers in a different color, and then the stem in a different color as well. So that's what I did here. So that's how you would use those together. So I had a lot of fun, again, masking with this set. I was playing around with the umbrella and how to group that with some things. And I did it here. and I stamped the springtime first. And then I had a thin, I don't remember, it was a thin piece. I may have thrown it away. And I laid that over top, and then I stamped the umbrella on it. So it looks like the umbrella is going behind it. I did the same thing with this one, where I stamped the saying and the little birds, and then I added the umbrella on top. And again, so it looks like it goes behind it. If you wanted to, you could kind of do the opposite. You could stamp it here, and then mask off this part and stamp just the bottom handle so it looks like a really tall umbrella, and you could continue that. That would be kind of neat. I masked it off so it looks like it's going behind the little rain boot right here. So it's kind of that same idea. This one I was playing with a little bit as far as trying to have the flowers look like they were coming up out of the springtime. I ended up doing that again here, and with the little leaf, and I liked that one. I think that one turned out probably a little bit better, maybe just because of the difference in color. But that's why I always encourage you very, very much when you get your stamp sets to just grab some scrap papers and just play with them. Get a feel for them. Get some ideas and how you like them, the colors you like to use with them, and how you want to group them before you even start a project. And the nice thing is I keep a binder with all of these samples in it. And then when I go to use the stamp sets, I can flip through these pages and it will give me inspiration. It'll give me a place to start. And, because I've already gone through the process of playing and figuring out what I like and don't like. So it gives me a great starting point. So make sure you have a binder and you keep these, but just play with them. I did a lot of the coloring in again, and you can add, it's the same idea as this one. We make them very, very easy to layer. So you can do the kite like I did here with the smaller kites. This I thought was really pretty. It was kind of a whole grouping where you have it look like it's going off in the distance, and you again could do a whole background with this. I liked the little bird just on one of them with the rain or shine. You have the two little birdies here under the umbrella. I thought that was really cute. And these little guys are cute, just peeking out just about anywhere. Excuse me. And then you have the closed umbrella. I thought that was really kind of pretty. I kept putting it under the sayings, and I liked how that turned out. And then I did the same thing here. I put the little birdies on here. I put them on each side with the umbrella, with the open umbrella. And then on this one, I put them on top with the umbrella underneath. And then this one I did with the little leaf sprig, and then the same thing there as well. So you can see how easy it is to get going with these and just start playing and layering. I had a lot of fun with them. I hope that this gives you some inspiration. It gives you a starting off point. Play with your inks. Try some of the little makeup pads, the little eyeshadow, that's the word I'm looking for. The little eyeshadow pads, and just kind of play with that. It's an easy way to kind of get almost like a watercolor effect, again, without your paper getting crinkly. Pull out some old stencils if you have them and layer them with the ink as well. Use some of the larger ones. You could totally combine all of these stamps together and create even more. I kind of ran out of time to do that, but this gives you a great starting point. Please, please, please make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and check out the tutorials that I will have up for the two memory keeping kits, where I show you some inspiration and ideas on how to use the contents of the kits, including I will probably use some of the stamp set in each one as well.